Hey, what's going on, YouTube? It's the Masked Man here. I'm here doing another movie review. If you don't know who I am the regular movie fan who does movie reviews. I'm not a qualified movie critic. I love the media. I love consuming media. I love consuming entertainment, but I'm not an expert on how it should be done. What is the proper way that it should be done right? All I know is what I enjoy and what I don't, and what I disagree with and what I don't. I feel like I represent a lot more people than the average critic, but I could be wrong. I'm not insulting them. I enjoy them, but I feel like they are leaving out a perspective, that the average person has. I feel like I'm filling a void, so to speak. But I do want to get to their level of understanding as it relates to film, movies, television, and any other subject that you can imagine. But that requires money. So that requires that I get my weight up and I do the work. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing the work. Uh anyway, I want to talk about Will Smith's movie Focus. Now, now I had seen a couple, just a couple of reviews saying that this wasn't a very good movie, or that this movie was an average movie. So I went into this movie with pretty low expectations. I still haven't seen After Earth. I don't know if it's available where I get my movies, but I will look into it. But I heard about this movie, Will Smith Focus. Will Smith was playing a con man, and he was supposedly, he was doing cons, and he upgraded to the big con. That's the way I heard it described. He was doing cons and he upgraded to the big con, and you know, wasn't a very good movie. Another Will Smith stinker. You know, I really think that Will Smith must have done something to piss somebody off, because people have been shitting on Will Smith um for a little while now. Will Smith ain't been putting out movies every year. He been skipping some. Now I don't know the filmography, so I could be wrong. But I'm just gonna tell you what it feels like, because I don't have internet right now. I go to somewhere that has internet to post these videos. I don't have internet at the moment, so I can't look up the fact to see if I'm bullshitting while I'm recording this. Um, but it feels like Will Smith is not putting out a new movie every year. It feels like Will Smith has been skipping years, whole years, without making a movie, or without making a movie that people are talking about. So I don't know what he did that pissed people off, that are making people less interested in what his projects are, and when he produces projects, that they don't really fuck with it like that. It's like I went in with low expectations to see Focus, and if you made it to the 4 minute mark, I spoil every movie. I do not do spoiler free shit. If you see the goddamn movie or don't see it, nigga, I spoil movies. But if you want to know the rating before I get into it, if you want the suggestion, if you should watch the movie before you watch this, yeah, go watch the movie. Um okay, now I watched the movie and it's about Will Smith. Will Smith is a con man, and he meets whom I think is Margot Robbie. I think that's her name. I don't know. As I said, I don't have internet in front of me, and I saw this movie a while ago, but I remember it. He meets Margot Robbie, and she and her partner trying to run a con on him. He ends up running a con on her, and he links up with her later and shows her little tricks of the trade, shows her little sleight of hands, how to pickpocket, how to take jewelry off of people, and it's real slick. And they do all of this, you know. They meet, they separate. She finds him after they separate. Now I can't really recall whether or not he gave her some money after the first time they met, but she does find him later, and they link back up, and he trains her like on how to steal, on how basically steal. He trains her on how to steal, how to pickpocket, how to take people's watches, you know, the old movie shit. Like everybody, you can bump into everybody and steal their ID and all that dumb shit. That's a lot harder than something you can learn in a week. Now I've heard motherfuckers say it been done. I had somebody in college tell me that he knew a nigga that could bump into you and take the credit cards out your wallet while it was in your pocket, leaving your wallet in your pocket. Nigga, I was like, all right, man. Whatever you say, man. I'm not qualified to dispute this shit you say. I'm not qualified. So, anyway, he shows him how to steal. And Will Smith has this massive team, with all these people on that I guess are working for him. And then he takes all of the money, and he gets this warning from his friend. He was like, "Don't lose this money, man. Don't lose this money." And you're like, okay. He better not lose that money. Okay, now they go to a football game. Think it's the next day. Him and Margot Robbie go to a football game, and BD Wong is there. Who? Not gonna say that. BD Wong is very cool. Very cool. He's very. I wouldn't know it was him. He's the psychiatrist from SVU. He was in the movie, and they got into a betting contest. Him and BD Wong. And Will Smith was losing money. He was losing money. He was losing everybody's money that they had just stole and put together, and he was supposed to disperse to the team. And it was really intense because you was looking at this like, Will Smith is a fuck up. Like like this person ain't got it all together. Like they done made Will Smith into a messed up character. Why would he do this? Why would he go and burn through all of this money? And while they're at this football game, he has a final bet. He done lost, I think all of the money. He done lost all of the money or most of the money. And he says double the bet. Now this guy, he has like a dangerous aura. Like if he doubles this bet and Will ain't got the money for the double, like both of them are gonna get fucked up. Like that's the impression that you got in the back of your mind while this is going on. And the final bet is you pick one of the players and I'll say who it is. And he even went so far as to say, do you want me to write it down? And tells him, no, you don't have to write it down. And I'm not going to pick. Margot Robbie's going to pick. Now, at this point, Margot Robbie is freaking out. She's freaking out. She's not freaking out in a black girl going nuts sort of way, but she's just like she's having that good actor freak out, like that. You can see the worry, and you can see the distress, and you can see that this is crazy on her face and in her body language, that she's freaking out about what's going on. So so Margot Robbie looks down at the players, and she looks down at the players and tries to pick the guy that BD Wong picked. And she just so happens to see somebody from the con man team in a player's uniform, some enormously fat guy, some really out of shape fat guy who you could tell has no business being in the NFL, like somebody who would stick out. And then she got it, and then the audience got it, and it was like a oh damn moment. You had got tricked. It was one of those moments in movies where you're like, that shit had me, man. It was one of those moments where you was like, I bought it. They got me, man. They got me. I knew Will Smith was crazy, and he wasn't. It was a con the whole time, and they conned the audience, and it was beautiful. It was fucking beautiful. So she picked right. Dude agreed. They got the money. They got up out of there. He paid her bread, and he told her, you got to get away from me. And they ain't speak for what I think is 2 years. I could be wrong. I haven't seen this movie in a while, but it was so good. I remember it, even though I saw it some months ago, maybe 4-5 months ago. I don't know how long ago it was I saw that fucking movie, but I wanted to speak on it because I feel like they're shitting on Will for some reason, for this movie in particular. So they get back. Will Smith is working another job. He's supposed to give people fake plans for a race car that a certain company is designing, because these new plans give racers some kind of an advantage, and he's supposed to protect it. But in the course of protecting the plan and making sure nobody steals it, he runs back into Margot Robbie's character 2 years later in what I believe to be another country. And there's this hard ass, older white guy who's the security, who's like making sure that Will don't fuck him over, and he don't trust con men, and he don't believe in them, and he wants him to go in another direction. But for some reason, the boss, you motherfuckers, if you watched any of my other videos, I'm not good with names, but the boss and the old man, they're working together to protect these plans. Like, the old man is the consultant of the boss, and Will Smith works for the boss. And he sees Margot Robbie with the boss. Now, if this bitch name ain't Margot Robbie, I'm sorry. I ain't got the shit in front of me. But he sees Margot Robbie with the boss, and he makes an assumption that she's running a con on him. And she's not, but Will doesn't know that at the time. He was supposed to get fake drunk. He gets actually drunk. He overreacts, and hijinks ensue. From what I can remember about the movie, some things I had a little bit of a problem with. At the end of the movie, you find out that the old man who was working with the boss is actually Will Smith's father, who he had insinuated, if not outright said, no, he didn't insinuate. No, he didn't insinuate. He said killed his grandfather. His father killed his grandfather, and that was the guy that took him under his wing and raised him as his own. And it was just one scene in particular didn't make sense to me. It's like there was a scene where the old man had bursted into Will's room and was walking in and looking in room by room, and who was berating Will, and he was really on Will's ass about security and that type of shit. He was really playing a role, and I'm like, okay, you run. The old man ran security for the boss, so I'm trying to figure out. It's like, if he was doing all of that, he knew that the room wasn't bugged, so he couldn't have been doing that because the room was bugged, and he didn't know. He would have known if somebody from the organization was over there already. So that whole scene was just in the movie to create tension because Margot Robbie was in the room with him and she was trying to hide from him, and to make you think, oh, they're about to get caught, everything is about to be exposed. And it was there to fool the audience. It was a scene that was designed just to fool the audience. And that's the only problem. That's the only real problem I have with the movie. Because some things it's like, okay, nigga, don't just be a movie. Don't just movie me. Don't do shit just for the sake of fooling the audience. The shit you do gotta make sense. If they're in on it, if this is a con that they're working together, he's not acting like that. He's an asshole, and he's established that he's an asshole, but he's not gonna act like that. Okay, they're in on a con together. He ain't coming in the room and acting like he's still security. The fuck are they playing with each other for when ain't nobody around? Why ain't they saying everything going okay? Is the plan still going on? Everything good on your end? Alright, man. Ain't no bug, ain't nobody else in here? Alright, man, okay. Alright, man, we about to get this nigga. Alright. I'm out, Will. I'm out. Alright, daddy. Yeah, well, why wouldn't that happening? Why wasn't that happening? And it would have even created more tension in the end if they would have did that. Okay, let's fast forward. Will sells the plans that he was supposed to protect to everybody in the auto industry, in the racing industry. He gets a bunch of money. He tries to get away. Um, Another one of my all-time favorite moments in a movie. Motherfucker puts on a neck brace, puts in a mouth guard, and then crashes into a car. This is the funniest shit you've seen in a movie in a long time. His shit is hilarious. You're just like, he walks in, like the whole build up to that moment. It's like he walks into a grocery store, buys the neck brace, buys the mouth guard, gets into his car, puts on the neck brace, puts in the mouth guard, drives his car, and you hear it revving up. Is getting faster and faster and faster, and then he screams, and then he hits the car, and then the airbag goes out, and he's disoriented, and he gets out, and it's Will and it's Margot Robbie trying to get away. It's fucking brilliant. And then we go on, and they have the scene where they're in chairs. They're captured. It's over. The old man is there. The boss is there. Will Smith goes into this elaborate story to try to protect Margot Robbie's character, whom he still believes, even after he's captured, he still believes that she's running a con on him. So she does, or that she's in a relationship. Forgive me if I got that wrong. I'm old movie, saw it 4 or 5 months ago. She thought that they was in a relationship together, that she was with him for real. Big plot point. Forgot it. She thought that she was with him for real and that she did something wrong for him and she was trying to protect her. And then he was like, I ain't never seen this woman before in my life. So he had told this elaborate ass lie, and now he was stuck. And he was like, okay, you want to know the truth? You really want to know the truth? And then the old man shot him. And then that was too much for the boss. The boss had to get out of there. And then you find out that the old man was Will Smith's father, and he saved him and he patched him up, and he's about to get to the hospital. And they got bags of money. And then they had this little moment, and he takes all the fucking money. His father takes all his white daddy took all his money from him and just left him with his his white daddy took all his money from him and just left him with his white girlfriend to save him. But that's pretty much the whole movie. I kind of butchered the story a little bit. It's been a long time. I would have butchered it if I saw it, 5 minutes ago. But I would say that this movie is must see. If you like stuff like Ocean's 11, if you like stuff like anything with clever, cunning, suave people, if you like anything like that where people are just beating other people by their wits, this is really the movie for you. And I don't know why this movie got such a low rating from the critics, because this movie is incredible. This is an incredible movie. I can't say that, oh, it's so original, it's so great, it's so groundbreaking, but it does for what it is, it does what it does well. Even if it's been done a million times, it's done well here. And this movie is a very enjoyable movie. It's well acted. You believe all of the characters. You believe what they're saying. You believe in the story. You believe everything could happen. It's very plausible. It's just a great movie. It's a great movie for a movie fan. It's a great fan movie. It's not terrible. It doesn't suck. It's not average. It's great. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. It's got one little flaw. It's got one flaw, but if you've been hearing that Focus with Will Smith is not that great of a movie, and that's made you not want to see it, I'm telling you that go out of your way to see Focus and see it for yourself. Go out of your way. Disregard what anybody has said about it. This movie is worth seeing. It's a must-see movie. Even if you end up not liking it, you have to recognize that this is something that was worth being made and was worth seeing. It's a must-see movie. It's a great movie. Don't let people get all that babble in your head saying, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know the shit that they know." But I know that I really love this movie, and I was really impressed by it, and I really liked it. So you go check this movie out. This review ran a little long. As always, tell me the truth. I'm just a man trying to get rich off of YouTube, building my empire. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments, like, dislike, join the discussion. My tech is low. But I'm just trying to make it work with what I got. Anyway, I'm the Masked Man. That's my review of Focus. I will see you in the next video.